Report of the New World of the Bishop Grady, letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. Black like I never left, back like I never left, giving y'all these BFN reports. And now we expanded to IG, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. So, you know what I'm saying? Welcome to the new audience. But just giving y'all the real on what's going on in the United States and abroad as far as politics and other things. Last night in Texas, you actually had Democrats walk out of a session run by the Republican-controlled legislature in protest and to stop the passing of a bill that they said would, critics say would instate like sweeping voter suppression laws that especially affect Black and Latino voters. These things include elimination of 24-hour voting, drive-through voting, and the ballot boxes, and makes it easier to overturn an election even if there's no evidence of voter fraud. So you had House Speaker Dave Fallon actually last night end the session by saying that the bill failed because they no longer have enough politicians to reach a quorum. Green War on graduation. Report of the New World of the Bishop Grady, letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. So over in Peru, you actually have the government admitting that their death toll due to COVID-19 is nearly triple what they had been saying it was. Now their new official death toll is 180,000, making it now the country with the highest death per capita due to COVID in the world. So highest death due to COVID per capita in the world. Let me rephrase that. Over in Southeast Asia, you actually are seeing a spike in cases, and these are countries that initially had contained the spread of COVID-19 in the early months of the pandemic. You have Malaysia entering a 2-week lockdown. You have Vietnam, they're beginning like mass testing and limiting public gatherings after they're blaming their spread on a highly transmissible COVID variant. And then you have China's Guangdong province that's actually entering a lockdown after they're seeing a spike in cases. Green War on graduation. Report of the New World of the Bishop Grady, letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. Make sure you check out blackfoxnews.com/shop. You can actually find the link in the Instagram bio, or you can type it into the URL, easy to remember. You can get yourself some fresh gear just like this, you know what I'm saying? We got sweaters like this in different colors and shapes and sizes to match anything in your wardrobe. We got other gear too though. Make sure you check that out. Support us as we continue to support y'all, giving y'all this real. Now, you know I call myself SRNW, Wall Street Reporter of the New World Daughter, so I got to let y'all know what's happening with this shit, you know what I'm saying? Now, you got the World Health Organization in Geneva on Monday actually making a call for a new international treaty on pandemic preparedness. And you have the WHO Emergencies Director, Mike Ryan, actually saying in the battle against emerging diseases, the pathogens are winning. So I wonder what is to come from this treaty where they want all of the countries of the world to move in concert to fight against diseases, some of which people don't even think are real. Green War on graduation though. Report of the New World of the Bishop Grady, letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. So on Saturday, you had in Brazil tens of thousands of people in over 200 cities actually marching, protesting, calling for the impeachment of current President Jair Bolsonaro. Now, they want him impeached for a bunch of reasons, but mainly his poor handling of the pandemic. Right now, Brazil is averaging 60,000 new infections per day and have a death toll due to COVID of over 460,000, second highest in the world officially. So people, and right now, even the Brazil Senate is actually probing into Bolsonaro's poor handling of the pandemic and the slow rollout of the vaccine. So people are on his ass in the Senate and in the government as well as in the streets. So we'll see what this turns out to be. Even Monica Benicio was in the protest. This is the wife, the fiance of murdered activist Mario Franco, who in 2018 was killed by hitmen that are actually connected to Bolsonaro. How about that? Green War on graduation. Report of the New World of the Bishop Grady, letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. So over in Colombia, pardon me, I gotta talk through the traffic and all of that, but as long as y'all can hear me. Over in Colombia, you got right-wing President Ivan Duque that has actually ordered for over 1,000 army troops to actually be deployed to the city of Cali over the weekend. And it's been reported that he's actually ordered 7,000 more troops to actually be sent to Cali over the coming days. Now, over in Colombia, you got to understand, they've been having anti-government protests that have been rocking. And this past Friday actually marked the 1-month anniversary since they really jumped off in response to a tax reform that Duque had actually put out there that would have raised taxes for a lot of, regular folks. And that tax reform has since been withdrawn, but the people still protesting. They don't like his policies. They're protesting against the skyrocketing poverty and the police violence. On Friday in Cali, there were 13 people dead in just Cali alone. So, real crazy stuff going on over there. And that's why the government and Duque is actually beefing with FARC, Fuerzas Armadas Revolucionarias de Colombia. You know what I'm saying? They had a treaty, a peace agreement with the government, and FARC feels like the government has went against that treaty. So, it's just a lot of tension over there in Colombia, man. If you out there, cuídate. Green War and Graduation. For the other new world, the Bishop Grady, letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. Make sure you check out @still_I_grind on Instagram. That's my mixtape, man. It's not a mixtape that you're going to download or whatever. It's one that you could watch visually. You know what I'm saying? I'm giving y'all bars. I'm giving y'all content, stories, flows. All types of fly shit as well. And the paraphernalia for that is actually on blackfoxnews.com/shop. The link is actually in the Black Fox News Instagram bio. Make sure you check that out. Now, on to the news, though. China has actually relaxed its population control laws by allowing families to have up to 3 children. The biggest change in their population control laws since 2016 when they got rid of the one-child policy. So this comes because there's a recent census that showed that there was a rise in the proportion of elderly people in China as the birth rate continues to fall. So when countries see stuff like that, China definitely, they're worried about a shrinking labor force and, that ultimately damaging China's economy. Green War and Graduation, though. For the other new world, though, the Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. So you got the Canadian government that's actually facing pressure to declare a national day of mourning after they actually found the bodies of 215 indigenous children at what used to be a school for indigenous children who were actually forcibly separated from their families by government. This was the Kamloops Indian Reservation School, which stood from 1890 and then closed in 1970. The Catholic Church actually ran the school up until 1969. So it's looking crazy. Obviously, another example of, it's just a byproduct of white supremacy and how it's just really hard to shake this shit. You know what I'm saying? Living in America, it's wonderful to look at the good things that these governments do today, but what about the past? And have they made atonement? Have they made atonement for their sins of the past? Green War and Graduation. For the other new world, the Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. Over in Israel, and this is a country that's actually had 4 national elections for the prime minister seat that have not resulted in a win. This 4th one, however, may result in a change because the chief rival of current Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, who is a defendant in 3 different corruption accusations, by the way, Lapid actually said on Sunday that he's willing to form a national unity government with ultra-nationalist Naftali Bennett. Now, so for some, that may be good because Netanyahu gets up out of here, but a lot of ways that might end up being the same thing, if not worse, especially if you're a Palestinian in that area. Now, Netanyahu actually hosted Egypt's spy chief in Jerusalem to discuss cementing the May 21st ceasefire that ended the 11-day bombardment by Israel of Gaza and of Palestinians. This bombardment actually resulted in 256 deaths of Palestinians, including 66 children, and had actually displaced 70,000 Gazans. Green War and Graduation, though. For the other new world, the Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. Be on the lookout for Graduation Party tutoring services. It's a tutoring platform that's being set up by our parent company that allow you to actually get math tutoring at your fingertips. You can actually book a tutoring session and have one through a video chat. You can actually submit a problem and get a price for a problem and then have the transaction go in that way and get your help in that regard. Or you can actually have a tutoring session also through chat, but it'll be timed, so it doesn't have to be a whole session. It could just be a few minutes, and it's $1 a minute for the first 5 minutes and then 50 cents a minute afterwards. Make sure you be on the lookout for that. It's said to be launching this summer, so everybody stay tuned and follow us on all platforms if you're interested. Just a little bit of news: on Saturday in Washington DC, you actually had thousands marching and protesting for the National March for Palestine. Bunch of people who feel like the liberation of Palestinians is on the way. Green Wall and Graduation up. Report of the New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. So over in Miami-Dade County on Sunday, there was actually another mass shooting. 3 gunmen hooded up hopped out of a stolen SUV and opened fire on a crowd at a concert venue indiscriminately. Ended up injuring 21 people and killing 2. Now, some people from the crowd was even busting back, but surveillance video shows them the gunmen getting out of this SUV and shooting, and then fleeing the scene seconds later. Police ended up finding the SUV submerged in a canal on Monday, so the suspects are still at large. Now, obviously, if you in Miami-Dade, stay woke, because this ain't just no hood shit. It don't sound like it. Sounds like terrorism for them to be firing at the crowd indiscriminately, unless they got beef with the venue owner or the promoter or something like that. But nevertheless, the gun violence archive said that out of the first 132 days in the United States, there have been over 200 mass shootings for 2021. Green Wall and Graduation. Report of the New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. House of Representative lawmakers in the United States, let's hone in on U.S. politics for a second. These lawmakers are actually planning on convening a select committee to investigate the insurrection that took place on January 6, 2021, where all of these crackers, in the name of MAGA and overturning this fraudulent election, actually stormed the U.S. Capitol. 5 people ended up dying from this, including one, Brian Sicknick, U.S. Capitol police officer, who was actually, who actually did die from the violence from these crackers. Now, you have House lawmakers are planning on doing this after Senate Republicans have successfully stonewalled a bill that would have formed a bipartisan commission to actually investigate the atrocity, and only 6 Republican senators actually joined the Democrats on Friday in voting to end the Republican filibuster, and it actually brought up calls on ending filibusters altogether, but all of the Democrats ain't with that. So we'll see how this turns out. Green Wall and Graduation. Report of the New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. So you got former National Security Advisor to ex-President Donald Trump, Michael Flynn. He's been in the news before because he actually was found guilty of lying to the FBI and was sentenced to prison and all of that. But Trump pardoned him, and he did this twice. But Flynn is under fire for basically endorsing a coup d'etat similar to the one that happened in Burma that actually killed hundreds of people, like a military coup. Now, he's fielding a question at this conference in Dallas that's put on by a bunch of QAnon conspirators or conspiracy theorists and MAGA supporters and all of that. You can see it on magainfo.tv. But he's fielding a question from the crowd and gets asked, well, why can't what happened over in Burma happen over here? And his response to it is like, well, it can, right? There's no reason. It should happen here, right? Yeah, there's no reason. That's right. So he then goes on to say he's not endorsing the coup, but also is saying that President Trump won the election and he won the Electoral College. So it's like, what leg are you standing on, sir? MAGA, yeah, I know it's hard. Don't let that motherfucker play with your mind. You know what I'm saying? Think, y'all. Green Wall and Graduation. Report of the New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. Now, when I hear stories like this, it makes me wonder, like, where's the moral compass of some of you motherfuckers that actually claim you're pro-American? Like, really, or even work for America, work for the government and all of that. You have Arizona officials that are reviving a decades-old gas chamber and planning on using a gas hydrogen cyanide specifically. This is a gas that was actually used by Nazis, by the German Nazis in Auschwitz at one of their extermination camps to kill people, obviously. They're going to use this gas to actually execute people on death row. Now, this is known because The Guardian, shout out to them news outlet, they actually retrieved paperwork from the Arizona Department of Corrections and showing that they spent over $2,000 on buying the ingredient buying the ingredients for hydrogen cyanide. And they also refurbished an old gas chamber from 1949. So they're about to get busy, but it's just like, what that's an ugly look, y'all. You don't think? Green War and graduation. For the New World, the Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. So over in Philadelphia, first off, welcome home to Eric Riddick. You know what I'm saying? This is a black man that was sentenced to life in prison in 1992 for murdering his childhood friend, due to the testimony of a single eyewitness who actually recanted their statement in an affidavit in 1999. Now, Eric Riddick, he actually got released this past Friday after the district attorney Larry Krasner's office actually said that he did not receive a fair trial. On top of that, the recanting of that testimony, in 2012, a firearms expert actually came to the conclusion that Riddick could not have been the shooter. So for that to happen in 2012, how the fuck is he just getting out now? They actually let him out after he pled guilty to a lesser charge of third-degree murder. So he was sentenced to decades. He's spent decades behind bars, man. And this story happens, it seems like it happens at least every month, if not every week, a day. Green War and graduation, though. News report of the New World, the Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. So tennis superstar Naomi Osaka, four-time Grand Slam winner. This is the one that took out Serena Williams, y'all. This the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? Serena Williams, the GOAT. You feel me? So, but Osaka is making news recently because she actually has withdrawn herself from the French Open tournament after she had been fined already for not doing the press conferences and had been threatened with disqualification for not doing so, since it's part of the contract and all of that, whatever. Well, she's been keeping away from the press conferences because she says it negatively affects her mental health. She's been dealing with long bouts of depression since 2018. So this is a woman that actually wore a face mask with names like Breonna Taylor and other victims of color that are victims of police brutality and awful discernment, and wore a different mask for each match that she had in the tourneys last year. So this is one of our people. So I say all that to say, if you black, yo, if you don't got nothing positive to say about her, leave that woman alone. You know what I'm saying? White supremacy gonna do enough to try to come down on her or whatever, but she one of us, y'all. Green War on graduation. Report of the New World, the Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report, man. Free Everett King, man. Who is that? This is a white dude, anti-fascist activist who was actually serving a 10-year sentence in federal prison for throwing a Molotov cocktail at an empty building during a BLM protest in Kansas City, Missouri in 2014. Now, he actually put out a lawsuit, filed a lawsuit, and this lawsuit alleges that in the McCreary Federal Prison in Kentucky, prison guards actually allowed white supremacists to beat his ass in 2018. He also says that he's been targeted by over 40 correctional officers throughout multiple facilities throughout his sentence. He's been in solitary confinement for over 1,000 days, which is way past torture. And he also is facing another 20 years for assaulting a federal officer, which he says is in self-defense. So you have The Intercept media outlet, shout out to them. They actually got a statement from him saying that, you know, I'm a human being with a family. I've been treated deplorably, denied access to my family and my lawyers, and, you know, emotional and physical torture. And they're doing this because of my beliefs, not my actions. And